Welcome. My name is Kathrina Miccio, and you're joining us today with Indie Film Online. And today, my guest is Joseph Puleo, and he has a film, it's a documentary called The Hill. And I certainly learned something from it being Italian. I had no idea that this existed. So we're in for a treat. Hello,
All right.
how are you?
How
Welcome
are you?
to the show.
Thank you.
And welcome to the festival,
Yeah.
um, Venus Italian International Festival, which is a perfect spot for your documentary. You certainly taught me something that I never knew, and I've been talking about it. Well, have you lived there all your life?
Yes. Born and raised in St. Louis.
Wow. On the hill?
No, actually, my I had family that lived on the hill, and so I would visit there all the time. But I lived a little more west of St. Louis, but I was there all the time growing
Did
up,
they
and
immigrate there, or they like?
I did have family that immigrated there.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, great.
It wasn't for the clay mines, which is shown in the film, but they just they went there from Palermo. Apparently, we've been. I actually looked more into it with the documentary, learning more about the heritage than I had known prior. So it was a learning experience all the way around.
Wow. I mean, I had no idea that. I'm thinking to myself, how did they end up there?
Yeah,
If it's in the middle of the country, it's nowhere near water,
yeah.
like they didn't, they
It
would
was
have to take a ship and then get
yeah.
there somehow.
Yes. One of the larger clay mines actually had a recruiting office that they set up in northern Italy, and it was recruiting young men to come work in the mines. Um, so that's how they got there.
And Italians know about clay and ceramic, and so that was perfect.
Yeah,
They're artisans, right? So that was amazing, I guess. I'm sure they worked really hard in the mines.
yeah,
I'm sure that was a tough job.
yeah. The conditions were pretty tough.
Pretty tough, I'm sure. But what I found fascinating was I have family in Italy. I go there every year, and I also was born in Brooklyn and raised in Staten Island, and especially in Brooklyn, in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, like Italians like to keep their neighborhoods to
Hmm.
themselves, right? So
Yeah,
when I heard that about the hill, I said, wow, okay, they all came there and they wanted to keep it, like they didn't want anybody to come in. They wanted to
exactly.
keep it Italian.
Yeah.
So how big of an area is
They
this?
say it's 52 square blocks, so it's a big neighborhood. A lot of the houses are the shotgun style houses, but they did.
Oh, shotgun. Explain what a shotgun house is. I know you say it in the documentary, but some people might not know what I
Yeah,
know what
the
it is.
shotgun houses were they're basically like row homes that are built long. They're built long ways, and there's no real walls that separate um, the room. So it's like you would walk into like a living room, bedroom, kitchen would be in the back. So it's like if you were a child, like you'd have to walk through your parents' bedroom in order to get to the kitchen. So
Right.
Yeah, it's
And they call it a shotgun because you could see
exactly.
the front to the back in one long
Yeah,
hallway.
they say if you fired a shotgun, the
Fire
shell could
shotgun goes
go
right there.
straight through the front to the back without hitting any walls. So
Well, that's the way that they made them, and
yeah.
so a lot of the houses similar there. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the houses, there's like two parts of the hill basically. It's that original part,
Mhm.
and then we get into this in the documentary. Post World War II, they came back and they started building in the land that was available. So those houses are more 1950s looking. Then the rest of the houses, you could tell that they're old, but a lot of people
1950s,
are,
still 70. Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, those are like the thing is they do on the hill now is they'll tear down some of the older property that's falling down. They'll maybe buy two lots and then build like a mansion on it or something like that. They had done a few of those, but they're just Italian people that almost all of them are Italians that they just want a bigger house. So instead of moving to the county, they'll try and build that house on the hill to still try and get that neighborhood feeling that they have.
So is there like a lot of salamerias, like like deli type,
Oh
like
yeah, there's
with the prosciutto provolone hanging,
yeah.
right?
Probably the most famous would be Volpe. That's sold throughout the world. Um, that's probably the most famous one down there. But I mean, if you go every block, every corner, there's some kind of shop or a restaurant or so it's just business intertwined with residential throughout the entire hill.
Wow. And I saw a friend of mine, Larry Romano. He made a
Yes,
little
Larry.
appearance in it. I'm like, what is he doing there? I thought he was still in New York.
Yeah, Larry came for a charity event. I think it was something to do. He's big with animals. Um, so Larry had a charity event that he came to St. Louis for, and I guess they wanted to come show him the hill. And we heard about it, and our producer was like, "Let's get an interview."
Yeah.
And so he obliged, and we did a little interview with him. I thought it was nice. It was probably the last interview that we did. I wanted to get the New York
Feel.
perspective on the hill because the title of the film being The Last Little Italy, we knew this was going to be a controversial to every subset group of Italians across America would be like, well, what are you talking about? We have our own Little Italy, but I wanted to get Larry's perspective on it, where it's like, yeah, they have a Little Italy, but it's not.
No,
You
he was
know,
more like New York sold
yeah,
out to
yeah,
to Jersey.
that's exactly. That was a good perspective for him to get.
He's a character. Yeah, he
He
was in
is.
King of Queens
Yeah,
and a bunch
yeah,
of films. I actually was in one of his films called Saturday in the Park.
yeah.
So
No, he had
you
mentioned
mentioned that.
that he had directed that, or he
Yeah.
had that. So
Yeah, I played the
yeah.
mother of the lead actor. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was this whole thing
It's
is
a
like,
small world.
it's like branches out to all
Yeah,
kinds of
it's a
I
small
love
world.
it. Yes, yes, 6 degrees. So yeah, I have to come there at some point and check it out
That's
because
what we wanted. Yeah, we wanted that with, especially in the third act of the film, to try and show people that this place does exist and hopefully, increase tourism and get more people aware that this neighborhood exists and it's still in that
and
Italian American
shoot
spirit.
films there. Why not shoot films if you need that Italian
Mhm.
feel too? You
They
know,
did
we
shoot.
don't
They did
really
shoot a
have
film.
much in New York anymore.
Yeah,
Like we sold out, like
yeah.
like Larry said. But
Like
there
20
will.
years ago, they did have a film that they shot down there. It was The Game of Their Lives, which is the 1950 soccer team, which we touch upon in the documentary. They did do. I think the director of Hoosiers actually shot that. Not a lot of people saw it, and it's not really famous. But I think that's the only time anyone's ever utilized
Wow.
Yeah, that
It's
location was.
unknown. I mean, I didn't know about it. I asked my mother because she had a friend
Mhm.
in St. Louis. I said, "You went there all the time. Did they ever take you?" She said, "No, I knew nothing about it."
That's surprising. Yeah, it's usually when if you're Italian, you come to St. Louis, it's like someone's taking you to the hill. It's
Yeah.
like I would say, uh, behind the St. Louis Arch, they say it's the #2 tourist attraction in all of St. Louis. So yeah, it's a nice area.
Yeah. So is it still kind of the same? Like they try to, if they sell something, they try to keep Italians. Not to
I
be
don't think it's
prejudiced.
a,
It's not a prejudice thing. It's
of
like a
course,
traditional. It's traditional.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were big on trying to keep that tradition alive, especially during the time all the immigrant communities were going under. And these are prideful people. These people, they wanted to keep this neighborhood that they built, that their ancestors had built, and so it was a big deal to them to try and keep this neighborhood Italian. Um, Today, it is still highly an Italian area. Um, People have married other people who are not
Sure.
Italian, and they live
Yeah.
in the neighborhood, of course. But um, no, I mean, it's like if trying to find a house on the hill is not easy, and
Not
if it is, it's going to be expensive. Even in the documentary in the '70s, it was listed as having the lowest crime rate and the highest property value. That's still true to this day. I mean, the property value down on the hill is it's pretty wild. It's like a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house. It'll run you like $300,000 or something, which or 250 to 300,000, which out here in St. Louis, that's a lot of money. I know cost of living is more expensive in New
That's a
York.
studio in Manhattan.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
here, I mean, Larry bought a house, so um, yeah, he came out here, he bought a house. I mean, I think he was shocked at the price was low for him, but it's like in other neighborhoods throughout St. Louis, the hill is really the highest.
It seems perfect for him. You know, he's so
Yeah,
Italian,
yeah,
and it's safer than, well, anyway. So I'm happy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy
yeah.
for you. And
Thank
I
you.
love, absolutely love I think I even wrote to you, I love this film.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping that, I don't know, maybe we could get film crews out there to film. I don't know. Now I'm inspired to
Yeah,
write something. I don't know.
that's
Um,
good.
yeah, and I want to just check it out. Like, why not?
Yeah, come and visit.
I love that I learned something new from it.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else coming up, or is this what you do? You usually direct documentaries?
Actually, so I had a little success. I went to film school out here in St. Louis.
Okay.
Um, the first project I did outside of school was a short little 12-minute mockumentary called Top Sun. It was a film about a Tom Cruise impersonator who still lived at home with his parents. It was a 40-year-old Tom Cruise impersonator. So that was the first thing that we did. That
Funny.
kind of
I want to see it. Could you send it to me? Maybe
yeah, for
I
sure.
have I have like tons of, you
Yeah.
be in a
So
short,
we
or sounds funny.
actually
He
Kevin
look
Hart
like the
saw it.
character look like him.
Oh yeah, the guy looks. I mean, he's the #1 Tom Cruise impersonator in the world. So we were lucky we got him out here to St. Louis, and we won a couple awards at a local festival here, and then it got into Holly Shorts and showed in Man's Chinese in LA. But the biggest thing is we were in a contest that Kevin Hart put on, and there was like 2,000 submissions or something like that. We got picked for the top 20, and then from
Wow.
that it actually we got into the top 5, and me and one of the co-stars, we actually got to go to Montreal, and Kevin Hart showed the film there, and it was a packed house. So that was in 2017.
That's
And then
amazing. amazing. I
And
love
then from there, a local producer here, Rio Vitale, found out that we had had a little success here, and he's the one that approached me to do the Hill documentary. Since 2018, May 2018, so it's been exactly 2 years now.
Exactly. Wow.
It's been exactly 2 years that we've been working on this Hill documentary, and I
Mm.
had never done a historical documentary or a documentary of any kind. I had just done a short film, so this was my first feature, but they trusted me to
Well, you did a
tell this
fantastic
story, and
job for sure.
I
And
appreciate
for
it. Thank you.
being there too, and I'm sure you know a lot of the store owners. And
Yes.
how has St. Louis been with the COVID? How are you doing out there with that?
We're doing all right. It wasn't, we didn't get affected terribly, but it's like everything got shut down, and my wife is working from home. I already work from home, and we had some projects that we were trying to get off the ground to start filming probably this summer, but we've had to table all of those for the time being, and
Yeah.
pretty much everything that we're doing now, the Zoom chats and stuff like that, we've submitted to other festivals that they're all starting to go online. And I would think that everything, probably for the next 6 months at least would be online.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, I have one I have the Procida Film International Film Festival in Italy in September, and then the cutting room. I'm probably going to push it to November, just so that I can do it there, or
yeah.
But the Venus was originally a live event. In fact, I had it
Hmm.
in Vegas last year, and I was going to do it in Miami at the Hard Rock, but
Hmm.
yeah, and then this came along. But
Yeah.
next year, for sure,
That's
we're going
right. Yeah.
go back to Vegas or do it at the Hard Rock. That's what I'm hoping
I
for.
know our producer was really sad. He was like, they had it in Vegas last year. I would have gone. And he's like, I was like, I can't. I mean, it's COVID. What can you? There's nothing you can do
Yeah,
about it.
Vegas is closed.
Yeah.
Everything's closed.
Yeah.
So, but I had to do something. So, and then I have this magazine now that I'm really trying to promote filmmakers with as well. I mean,
Mhm.
first I was like, okay, I'm going to make a little website to hold all my festivals. And then I was like, I want to do this for the filmmakers too, because let them get out there. I mean, nobody's working now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a
I
tough
would love
time.
to
It's a tough
have
time.
an article written about the documentary in the magazine. I think that would be phenomenal.
Terrific. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Definitely.
do an interview for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe you could get a few other people that were in the
Yeah.
documentary. Well,
No
I love
problem.
the barber at the end.
Yeah, I know. Sadly, he passed away,
What a
but
character. Oh, he did.
yeah,
Oh, oh, oh.
yeah, he was. We went and interviewed him, and he basically spoke no English. He spoke very broken English, and
Oh, what a
he
character.
had been here for like 50 years, and so we started. We were trying to interview him, and I was like, we're not doing a sit down interview with him. Like, there's no way we're not going to get anything. So we just went there and rolled
It's
cameras.
better. That's what I really remember, that he was
Yeah.
in the, yeah, in
And
his
at the end of
little
it,
barber shop.
we had all this good footage, and I was like, there's no way this is making the actual film. Like, there's no place for it to go. But I thought maybe we could do a funny little thing in the credits to show, kind of a character of the neighborhood instead of going into it. And we were happy with the way that it turned out. I think
It
it's,
was
yeah,
perfect.
yeah, he
They
was,
do in Italian. Perfect.
yep,
It really was. So I really want to promote this documentary, and I really love it. And I really want to thank you so much
yes,
for being on and
of
taking
course.
time for the interview.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, we really
Yes.
appreciate it. And this
And
was,
I hope that you'll be available for the Q&A too.
yes,
Perfect. It's going to be after your block of,
okay.
yeah, not after the whole day, because I
Mhm.
can't do one after
Yeah,
the other, but after the day of blocks, then we're going to do Q&A.
I'll be there.
Awesome.
All
Perfect.
right.
Thank you so much.
Of
Thank
course.
you, Joseph. I really,
All
really
right.
appreciate you being on. Okay. Stay
Thank you.
safe.
You too.
Okay. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.